It's all true and it's touchy. So if anybody can't hear what's going to be said, then please don't listen. I wouldn't want that to happen to you because PTSD is real. You know, mental health is real. I suffer from that, so I'm letting you know that I'm about that life. So if you can't hear this stuff, just don't listen, please.
I will add a disclaimer in the beginning. This is all for educational purposes, YouTube, yes, okay?
I'm like a dollar sign, if you would think of it. I'm a dollar sign in this lady's eyes, and I got 2 more extra dollar signs. Little did we know that this lady was taking children in her family and raising them and doing other things.
Oh.
So when I say this to you, I mean this with everything I love. If I could have dug this lady up and like chewed on her bones, you know, I would have did it, got her back in there, peeled her back up again, because she ruined my life so many times over and over again that it was crazy. That I tried to get away and she was like present, still in my life. Literally just present even after death. And I say that with all the honesty in my heart. So right now, my heart is pounding. I'm feeling anxiety.
Was she present through trauma?
She is the one who created trauma. She is the one that made my life the way it is right now. She is the one that made me even love the streets so hard because I wanted to get away from her. You understand?
On my mama media, you wanna know what happened. Messy T page, and you know I be recapping. Bringing y'all the drama, and I'm bringing y'all the tea. If you wanna see a recap, know that you can come to me.
We finna run it up. Subscribe.
Hey friend, welcome back to On My Mama Media. It's your girl, Miss Malice. Today I'm doing an interview with a very special guest today. Her name is Alice. We are doing a couple story times. Now Alice, y'all, has had a very large impact on my life. She is a very special person to me. She is very raw, very uncut, and I think y'all are going to like her a lot. So we are going to welcome her to the channel. She is family to the channel. I call y'all friend, but she is my family, okay?
All right, y'all. How y'all doing this evening? Look, she got to make sure I'm checked in on the mic. First of all, I am her first cousin. So, you know, I'm here first. I call her LBC. That's my little big cuz. Because she has such an impact on me just as a person, period. I'm the black sheep of my family. So, let's tell you some black sheep stories. I live in Connecticut. That's where we're from, born and raised. I'm going to start telling you a story that's a true story. Anything that I say to you is a true story. I'm not going to say everybody's names because you know how people get. So we're not going to do that, but they're going to get that tea. I'm going to spill it on them. They know who they are. So, I'm going to start out with my dad and my mother. 5 years old, kicking and screaming, leaving my mother's house where I was basically born and raised at, church family, that kind of thing. Father into who knows whatever, mother hot, you know what, and and I guess my father thought she was the bee's knees at one point in time, but she was only the bee's knees for a couple, whenever he felt like coming through. So my dad left my mom real quick. It wasn't no love affair. It wasn't even an affair. However, short-lived. Here I am, and when I say that if I had my way somehow to do my life different, I probably the only parent I would change is my dad. It is what it is. I don't know how to love him. I don't know how to give him the love that he obviously looking for. I've never knew how to love him, and I don't think he ever knew how to love me. So today we don't talk to each other. Anyway, my mom is one of the people that you'll hear like in my story, and you want to look at her and be like, "Ooh, I can't believe she did that shit," but she did, and we did, and we're still like really, really close. My dad and my mom relationship, as I said before, was short-lived. My mother my mother's originally from Albany, New York. That's where my family is from, but she was here in Hartford, being raised by a family member who was basically church going and God believed in all that stuff. However, in the story, a black sheep enters our house a black a wolf sheep in sheep's clothing, how you want to say that, wolf in sheep's clothing, entered our home and disrupted my whole life. I mean, tore my whole life apart, almost up until I was 50. And so I realized that I was traumatized by all the actions and all the murky shit in my life that happened, and some crazy stuff, but we'll talk about that anyway. My mom was 19, 17, and 16 when she had children. She has 3 girls: Alice, Alverna, Ann. My little sister Ann, you'll hear about her. She's no longer with us. Rest in peace. My first few years of living in life, it was like living a fairy tale. We had a house on Street. Nobody even knew this. Had a house on Cable Street, 3-family house. In the basement there was a church. In the top there was a family of love, and we had a maid, and she had a daughter, and we had all these nice clothes. We had a Winnebago in the back of our yard. We were the only kids that took vacations. And then there was this lady who came over every single day or every Sunday to our little church congregation. And one day, this lady came and ripped my heart out my chest. She actually took me, my sister, and my little sister, who is no longer with us. Rest in peace once again. And she just tore us away from everything that we knew. And we were thinking maybe this was a short, maybe 2 weeks. Maybe 2 weeks we were going to be at this lady's house. Maybe things weren't so. How do you say when something is stable? Something that was not so stable. This is not going to be a place that we're going to be at.
Unstable.
Yep, and we thinking that it's just going to be a place for a couple of weeks because my mom's going through what we're going through. Even though we were young, we knew that our mom was not so much present. My sister Alverna, right now today, still Mother May I. Okay, all right, Miss Mother May I when she was 5. No, she still can do that. And the kid will look at her like this. Okay, so Miss Mother May I have 5 basically was raising me and my little sister, and this lady realized that my mother was not present in our lives. So being that she wasn't present in our lives, this lady seen that. And years ago, you can get a check for somebody else's child if you was careful. It didn't matter. And if you get 2 or 3, honey, that's a monthly paycheck. That paid bills, rent, and everything. Bought new cars, everything. So basically, I'm like a dollar sign, if you would think of it. I'm a dollar sign in this lady's eyes, and I got 2 more extra dollar signs. Little did we know that this lady was taking children in her family, and raising them and doing other things. So when I say this to you, I mean this with everything I love. If I could have dug this lady up and like chewed on her bones, I would have did it, got her back in there, peeled her back up again, because she ruined my life so many times over and over again that it was crazy. That I tried to get away and she was like present, still in my life. Literally just present even after death. And I say that with all the honesty in my heart. So right now my heart is pounding. I'm feeling anxiety.
Was she present through trauma?
She is the one who created trauma. She is the one that made my life the way it is right now. She is the one that made me even love the streets so hard, because I wanted to get away from her. You understand what I'm saying? The streets were better than being with her, because being abused on a daily basis and watching your sisters get abused is something that nobody wants to see. And when we finally got a chance, the streets was a place where it seemed like, oh man,
the escape.
Yeah, when you grow up almost in the suburbs, girl, she had us in the suburbs because she was doing that like freaky shit. So she had us hidden, basically, from people that knew us, because she knew we was pro-black folks. So my cousins and family was living in the hood, and she moved us to East Hartford, to the suburbs at the time, considered the suburbs. And she was doing some foul shit, and we had no way out. We had no way out because everybody who knew kept their mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who knew kept their mouth shut. And It's a bunch of people involved that even the state is involved. There's one time the state brought us back to this lady because they had separated me and my little sister, so we had to get back. So anyway, let me just tell you this first part, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. But when I got to this lady house with my two siblings, my blood siblings, I walk into the house. The first thing I see is a little girl, butt naked, to the right of me in a room by herself, crying. And then guess what, y'all? It was my fucking cousin. The girl was my first cousin, and Beverly had took her from my mother too. So
she was a predator.
very much so. Yep, she was a predator.
Do you mind if I ask a couple questions?
Oh yeah, you can go ahead and do that.
Do you think that everybody was minding their business because of Black culture? Like what happens in your home is your business, or because they were okay what was happening, like birds of a feather flock together?
I think that some of them, or most of them, if not all of them, knew exactly what this lady was capable of, but she was one of the family members, basically, if you want to say a founding family member, because she was the oldest, okay? So when you looking back in them days, you know, because she was born in the 40s, 50s, somewhere around there, you know, family stuck together tight.
So out of respect of her being an elder,
I believe that they just kept their mouth shut even when it happened to them. They just didn't say anything. How could you not say nothing? It's happening to you.
I think it's something about that generation. Like as the newer generations come,
We ain't letting that happen.
we're more vocal about like the problems that are happening to us. But the older generations, like they're more quiet.
They were very quiet.
They're more quiet
because we were taught if you say something, we're gonna look your ass. And if you see a extension cord coming to your face,
you better not grab it.
You better not grab it.
You better not
guess
move.
What? That's even extra abuse. And believe me, I have suffered till I had blisters of blood leaking out of my back at 7 years old. There's no reason for that. There's no reason for that. I went to the nurse with a blister from a extension cord, the orange extension cord that they use for construction. That's not right.
With an extension cord.
As I said before, they knew and they chose to stay quiet because I believe money played a part. Sticking together played a part. We can't put our family in jail. Pretending that they didn't know played the part. Not knowing also played the part, because then there's family members that's being born that really don't know that this is a sick individual. And then I seen things happen to other people. I knew things were happening to other people's children, and she blamed it on us. She blamed it on us. It was easier to blame it on us. It was easy for her not to bring us to a drill team. We couldn't join the drill team practice because if you get close to people, she knew if you got close to somebody that if Alice gets close to her, Alice likes to talk, right?
It's a chance you can tell.
It's a chance she's gonna tell everything, and it's blown. Everything, my coverage blown. Of being, she did hair. She was one of the first Black women, I can say this, that had a salon, that was part of a salon down in downtown on Pratt Street. She did hair really well. People came to her. They made money, and come to find out that her boss was a murderer and got away with it. You can look that up. William T. Gerace actually defended this lady who was named Sadie. I forgot her last name, but she was from Harlem. She lived in a blow. She murdered her husband. Said that two men with trench coats on and these fancy little hats and gloves came into her house and her husband while he was laying in the bed dead with the pillow over his face. She did get away with it, and Beverly was her very best friend, and they used to do demonic shit to us together. Her and that lady, I remember that. So like I said before, I will tell you some more. Yep. So, yep. You got any more questions?
No.
All right, y'all. I have a little TikTok page. It's called Your Favorite CT Girl. Good morning, world. I tried to wake y'all up with that come up. Good morning, world. Good afternoon, world. Elite Massage and Wellness. I'm getting a little plug right here. A little plug. Elite Massage and Wellness. We are at 34 Jerome Avenue in Hartford, Connecticut. 645 Farmington Avenue, Hartford, Connecticut. 34 Jerome Avenue, Bloomfield, Connecticut. Come see us. We're really good. We got a 5-star review at Elite Massage and Wellness. Look us up, and I guarantee you'll see my name a lot. Alice in Wonderhands.
Alice in Wonderhands. I like that. Clock it. I made that shirt, by the way.
Yeah, she did make it for me. It's cute. Yeah. We in there.
Cash, where you at?
We in there.
Don't forget, I make custom shirts, y'all. Custom shirts. Now that's TV shirts. Now that's Zeus Network shirts. Whatever you need, I got you. Sweatpants, hoodies, you got it.
Tune in if you want to hear anything else, because I do have some stuff, and it's all true stories. This is not any bullshit. So when you hear this is stuff that's factual. I could actually bring other people, but I don't want to involve other people like my sister.
You can hold this if you want to add in, because I am going to do my own story time. I want to add on to what she said.
Yeah. I don't know, but like I said, it's all true, and it's touching. So if anybody can't hear what's going to be said, then please don't listen. I wouldn't want that to happen to you, because PTSD is real. You know, mental health is real. I suffer from that, so I'm letting you know that I'm about that life. So if you can't hear this stuff, just don't listen, please.
I will add a disclaimer in the beginning. This is all for educational purposes, YouTube, yes, okay? Now, I am going to add this on both YouTube channels, but from here on out, it will only be on my mama_media. We will do weekly story times.
Yeah, we'll do a weekly
story times, okay, up until she gets her own YouTube channel. Amen.
Maybe, but real stories,
because we're gonna support Alice in Wonderhands. Okay,
we're gonna do that. And real stories, listen, I already know where I stopped at. I'm gonna get it right back. I know where I'm at, y'all, because this is a real story, so y'all get the true story. Okay,
all right. Now we are gonna do weekly story times. Amen. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm putting this out into the atmosphere until she gets her own YouTube channel, and I'm gonna put her TikTok in the description. Please make sure y'all go and follow her. Lighting just got better.
If y'all start following me, Malice in Wonderland, because it's all true stories, and this is about me. I am Malice. I'm no longer Malice, but definitely Malice in Wonderland. Come check me soon. Coming to a YouTube channel near you.
Now, Alice don't know who Tavi is, but she give me Tavi energy. I'm gonna put her up on the baddies. Okay, we gonna get her up on the baddies, and hopefully she gonna do recaps with me. But there is something that I do want to mention, because she spoke on predatory actions. Okay, so back when I was in high school, there was a teacher, but I'm gonna just call her Miss Forbes, because that was her name. I ain't gonna say her first name, but those who know who Miss Forbes is know who Miss Forbes is. Now, Miss Forbes always gave stud energy, okay? So we were talking baseball caps, hoodies, baggy pants, all right? She gave stud, all right? She gave Mr. Mrs. So we always thought she was a Mr. Mrs., but one day she came in with a ring, and she was married to a Mr. We were all shocked. Now, from middle school, when we graduated, she became our teacher in high school. Now, none of our other math teachers, history teachers, English teachers, any teacher followed us to high school except for Miss Forbes. So we all thought that was a little fishy. We all thought it was a little interesting, but we let it go. Now, senior year came, and we found out that Miss Forbes was getting fired. And, well, let's go back. We found out she was getting divorced. We found out she was getting divorced because she told us she was the cool teacher. If we were late, she didn't write us up. She let us curse. She let us sit where we wanted. She was the cool teacher. So when she was getting divorced, she let us know, hey, y'all, I'm getting divorced. This is what happened. He wants the house. He wants the car. He wants the dog. She was giving us facts on her life that we didn't ask for, okay? So one day we found out she was getting fired because she was having an affair with one of the students. It just so happened to be a girl. And from that, we weren't surprised because she always gave Mr. Mrs., okay? So we found out she was having an affair with this student from middle school to high school, and that's the reason she got a job at the high school, is because when we graduated and went to the high school, she wanted to follow the student to the high school. So she was having an affair or whatever with this student from middle school to high school, okay? And when she got a divorce with her husband, it's because the student we were all about to graduate So now she felt like she could finally have a relationship with this student. I'm not gonna put her name out there, okay? But she finally felt like she could have a relationship with this student because she was about to graduate. So she was divorcing her husband. Now the husband called the school and told the school about the affair because he was mad that Miss Forbes wanted the dog in the divorce, and I guess that was his final straw. Like, bitch, you're not gonna take my dog. You can have this house, you can have this car, you ain't gonna take my dog, bitch. So you ain't gonna leave me for this little ass girl and take my dog. You gotta be crazy. Like, that was his final straw. So he wanted the dog. He got mad, told the school. She got fired. The girl couldn't walk across the stage, but she still got to graduate. You know, you went to school, you did the work, whatever, you still graduate, but you ain't walking across the stage. So later on, I used to be a line cook. I went to school to be a chef. You know, I'm working in one of the kitchens, and one of the waitresses had the same last name as Miss Forbes. Her name was Forbes. So I asked her, like, hey, is so and so you know so and so? She said, yeah. I said, oh wow, is she still dating so and so, the student? She said, yeah, they just got married and bought a house. Imagine my shock that you could date that's technically the M word. I'm not gonna say it, but you touching on this little, this is a child. This is predatory actions. You got fired for it, and I don't think she did any jail time because I looked up the laws in my state, and because it's girl on girl, and there's no, penetration, it's technically not grape, because you can't say the R word. Right? You can't say the R word. It's not great. So she didn't go to jail. And I just feel like that's ridiculous. Because it's girl on girl, there's no jail time. And I feel like in my state, that's ridiculous.
May I say something towards that?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to give you your mic back. That's ridiculous. Just because it's girl on girl, grape is great.
That's ugly.
That's still weird. It's still illegal.
It's illegal. It's offensive. It's illegal, offensive, and it's traumatizing as fuck. Especially from a woman, because you would think that a woman would care for you and love you and nurture you to be a woman of integrity, of etiquette, and just be proud of your black self. I was never proud of my black self because this woman didn't let me be proud of my black self, because she was my predator. She was the predator. She was the one, and you know what? Because she was a woman, they didn't believe us, and you'll find out next week. But when I say they, you will find out who they are. But they didn't believe us. So, because of probably it's a woman, because you wouldn't think no woman was, doing nothing, but they do. But they do. You
would never suspect a woman to be the one touching on your child.
That's right.
But they do it. Women are weird too.
They do. Women.
Watch your children. Watch your children with family. You never know. Watch your children with the women at your school. You never know. Watch your children with women, period. Because don't think it's just these men.
That's really close to abuse your daughter or your son, and all of a sudden it's just uncomfortable for that child. Look at the signs. There's so many signs that people have no idea what it is. I'm telling you, a closed mouth. If a child is closed mouth all the time, something is wrong, because children are energetic, children are light, children are they are balls of light, of golden stuff.
Even acting out in anger,
yes.
The signs are different on every child. Know your child so that you know when their personality changes. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Know your child. I love that. Know your child. That is a great saying. Know your child. It's a good thing too, because if you don't know your child, then you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, know your child so you know when their personality changes, so you know when their characteristics changes, when they're right. You get what I'm saying?
Build a friendship, but also keep a little bit, a tiny bit of, you have to build.
You want your child to respect you, but not fear you. Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
You want your child to sit down and be like, "Ma, I gotta tell you something," and I'm telling you, I don't want you to bug out right now, but you want them to sit down and be able to tell you something, and you have to find out your reaction must be the reaction that is needed for that child, so that child can feel the love or what it needs to from the parent itself. And if you don't have that, man, I'm telling you, love is a powerful thing, and people use that word so in vain, so like I said, when she comes back again, and I do come back, I'll continue telling you the story about this female predator that was a predator for quite some time, and nobody ever put her down.
So lastly, I just want to say that I feel like it's crazy that later in life, after she did all her community service and whatever, that they were able to buy a house and get married and continue to have this just like lovely life after she groomed her. Like, baby girl, you were groomed and now you are married to this woman and y'all have a house and whatever the case is. Like, you don't even know the psychological like damage that this woman did to you. How do your parents feel about your relationship? I wonder if they are like, if they are like dealing with this so they can have a relationship with you, or if they are actually okay and happy for you. I just wonder. I really wonder, but it's not my life. It ain't my business. You know, I'm just letting y'all know that watch y'all children, even around women, because men aren't just the creeps. Y'all are having conversations about if y'all want to be left in the forest with a man or a bear. Y'all choosing the bear because y'all don't want to be raped by a man.
I'm choosing the bear.
Be aware of the women too, because it ain't just the men y'all need to be worried about. But
Mama bear and Papa bear.
that's on my mama TV.
Peace and love.
Malice in Wonderland.
Malice in Wonderland.
Until next time.
All right, now till next
Bye,
time.
friend.
Peace and love, y'all. Peace.